You know that feeling when you get thrown back into your seat and your eyes start tearing up? You know what I mean. The experience of pure, unadulterated speed. If achieving that isn't your goal in life, then you might as well just change the channel. And if it is, well, let me tell you about the Quadra Type 66. The meanest, leanest, sleekest machine this world has ever seen. And wait till I tell you what's hiding underneath that gorgeous body. We're talking 370 engine, 550 horsepower, and 430 foot-pounds of torque. With that kind of power at your feet, a split second is all it takes to spin out of control. Every little micro adjustment counts. The only thing stopping this baby from flying off the tarmac is a grade A driver or the right implants. Lucky for us, the Quadra Type 66 is compatible with most firmware on the market. And oh my, the interior! You would almost think you're sitting in a fighter jet instead of a car. Except even a fighter jet's got nothing on the Quadra in terms of style. Just look at this upholstery, at the dashboard. You can feel the designer's passion in every square inch. Now, even though the Quadra Type 66 is getting on in years, this foxy dame still routinely puts the most modern and priciest machines to shame. Think of it like a fine wine. It only gets better with age. And it'll still get you drunk off speed. Give the Quadra Type 66 a chance. I promise she will not disappoint. Imagine you're sitting on a pile of eddies. No, wait, a room full of eddies. A swimming pool. A football stadium. Now take that and multiply it by 100. Congratulations! Now you can afford a Rayfield Erendite. The perfect blend of style and substance. Arguably the peak of automotive luxury. The Erendite's streamlined physique is fused with the presidential elegance of early 20th century limos and the feral demeanor of Italian sports cars. And yet these features all reinforce each other. It's almost as if a new species of supercar was genetically engineered to rule over all inferior machines. 1,800 horsepower. No, you heard me right. 1,800 horsepower. The Erendite's engine makes it the fastest street-legal car in the entire world. If you put wings on it, it'd fly off into the stratosphere. One thing you'll notice is the complete lack of windows. The Erendite creates a projection of its surroundings on the inside thanks to crystal dome tech. Behind the wheel, you can see everything as clear as day, but nobody can catch even a glimpse of you. That means if you purchase it with standard armor plating, this British sports limo is safer than a tank, and as I'm sure you'd agree, offers far more panache. The Erendite's interior also caters to the most expensive tastes imaginable. A minimalist design with backlit panels, calf's leather seats, and cherry wood finish. If only I were rich. Probably less than 1,000 people in the world can afford the Erendite. And chances of one of them watching this show are close to zero. But if you are watching this, get your ass to a Rayfield showroom and put those eddies to good use. That's all for today, everyone. See you next time, or on the road. Want a ride that's fit for a king without paying a king's ransom? Then I've got something for you. Meet the Mizutani Scion. There are a lot of cars out there that seem to be going through an identity crisis, trying to do too much at once, like the Archer Hella or the Thornton Mackinac. The Mizutani Scion doesn't have that problem, because it knows exactly what it is. A sports car, period. This car's built for optimizing one thing and one thing only: raw speed. Looking at the Scion, you can see why. You've got an aggressive aerodynamic body that can cut through air like a knife, complete with a 5-cylinder engine that's generous for this price range. Now, I know what you're going to say. There are cars out there that have got better acceleration, higher top speed, but none of them have got the Cheyenne's hyper-responsive steering and baby-smooth suspension. On the flip side, the Mizutani Cheyenne's interior is a bit too compact for comfort and has a plastic and fiber finish. I'm also not crazy about the creaky stick shift and cheap upholstery. But let's be honest, the Cheyenne's not a car you buy to show off your impeccable taste. You buy it to burn rubber and tear up the streets. So if you're the kind of person who wants a car to be more than a slab of metal on wheels going 150, something that belongs in an art gallery, then the Mizutani Cheyenne isn't for you. But if you want a truly dynamic machine that'll put your cred balance in the red before you've even left the dealers, then you and the Cheyenne will get along just fine. That's all for today, folks. See you next time, or on the road. And remember, stay loaded. You know the expression, having the last laugh? Imagine you're a gun manufacturer, and the NUSA and the Free States are on the brink of an all-out war. What do? You do what Midnight Arms did. Release a weapon that completely tilts the playing field. Right now, you're looking at the semi-automatic SOAR 22 rifle. If you think this beast looks more like a tank gun than a rifle, then you're sorely mistaken. That being said, ballistics testing has so far revealed that the SOAR 22's firepower is on par with the Arasaka Akaashi. That means the SOAR 22 also has a similar recoil. So if you haven't got a full titanium endoskeletal implant and carbon fiber muscle weaves, don't even try to handle this son of a bitch. Whoever made this clearly had just two things on their mind: mass production and war. That means it's gotta be solid and reliable. Comfort and portability are not on the checklist. I've been in just about every kind of weather condition with the SOAR 22. Torrential rain, sandstorms, heat waves, you name it. And it's never jammed on me, not even once. And you can tell the SOAR 22's creators were dead serious with this thing. Because the instructions are as captivating as a washing machine manual. This thing is no nonsense. The obvious downside to this Goliath is, well, its size. Soldiers have already nicknamed it the Elephant. Couldn't have come up with a better name myself. So if you want to know what it's like to hold a real lead cannon in your hands, there's only one true contender. The SOAR 22 is available in all firearm stores. And remember, stay loaded. Gunpowder cartridges these days, am I right? Loud, clunky, and a recoil that'll snap your wrist. You know what I'm getting at, right? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to try something new. Today, I want to tell y'all about Dara Polytechnic's flagship product, the electromagnetic DR12 Quasar pistol. Now, I don't usually talk shop on Dara because, well, they don't have much of a selection. After all, they're an R&D company that makes its bread and butter from patent licensing. I know, right? Boring! But when they do manufacture a gun, it's almost always to showcase some fancy tech gimmick, which makes them Preem, granted, but also unreliable and rough round the edges. The exception is Dara's handgun line. The first to hit the stores was called the Nova. Except with standard G-powder cartridges, there was nothing Nova about it. But the Quasar, now that's a whole nother ballgame. The first thing you'll notice about the Quasar is the weird shape of the receiver, as if it was an assembly line error. But surprisingly, it's a really snug fit. Just, don't expect to find a matching holster anytime soon. On top of that, it's got this old-timey drum magazine that's a clear throwback to the Depression-era outlaws and bank robbers of last century. Here's the twist, though. The drum mag isn't loaded with bullets, but with birdshot. Yeah, you heard me. Now, I know what you're thinking. birdshot? The thing you used to shoot clay pigeons at the shooting range with your pops? Have the great minds of Dara finally gone cuckoo? Well, birdshot's still the same old birdshot, yeah. But it's the projectile speed that's turning heads. See, hidden inside the quasar's barrel are 4 electroconductive rails. Now, put 2 opposing electromagnetic fields inside the cylinder, load your birdshot, run a current through the rails, and BAM! You've just blasted straight through a solid lead surface, half an inch thick. Now, how do I know that? 'Cause I tried it myself! Pulling a trigger never felt so good in my life. Of course, a curiosity like this has gotta come with its downsides. If your battery dies mid-shootout, the quasar will be about as useful to you as an industrial stapler. The quality of the components also doesn't impress. The quasar's frame is made from cheap plastic. But hey, at least that means it won't be much more pricey than a bottle of good Japanese whiskey. But aside from all that, I'd ask myself one question. Why the hell not? Go get your quasar in any firearms store and see for yourself. That's it for today, folks. And remember, stay loaded.